Hi everyone, welcome back to Study Room. My name is Angel and today we'll be doing chapter number 11 of class 9th, that is If I Were You. So this chapter is written by the author Douglas James Jardine, who was educated at Westminster School and Trinity College, which is located at Cambridge. So he took BA Honours in Classics in 1910. Now about the theme. So, the theme of this chapter is actually a play, and there are two characters. Number one is Gerald, and the second character is the intruder who wants to take the personality or impersonate the character Gerald by killing him. Okay, so the play emphasizes the importance of intelligence and presence of mind, as well as keeping calm in a crisis. Those who stay calm can escape tight corners easily. Criminals can also be outwitted due to their fear of the law and of getting caught. Okay, so this is a very interesting chapter and it keeps you on hook. So you'll love it. So let's get started. Now, so here the chapter starts with the word scene. So what is a scene? First of all, whenever a play is started, so you're reading it, so you don't know how the play looks or what is the setup. So a scene is basically a setup which describes that how everything looks and then how things start. Okay, so scene is a small cottage interior. There is an entrance back right which may be curtained. Another door to the left must be a practical door. The furniture is simple, consisting of a small table towards the left, a chair or two, and a divan rather upstage or on the right. On the table is the telephone. Okay, so you get the idea, right? So it is all the setup that we're talking about. Here, divan is a single bed. Okay, so a single bed is called a divan. That's it. When the curtain rises, Gerard is standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and wearing horn-rimmed glasses. He is dressed in a lawn suit and a great coat. His voice is cultured. Okay, so what do we get with this? First of all, curtain rises means it's when the play starts. So Gerard, the first main character, okay, Gerard is standing by the table and making a phone call. Okay, so now we'll know about his features, physical features. That is number one, he is of medium height and he's wearing horn-rimmed glasses. Horn-rimmed glasses are like glasses which shape something like this. Okay. Okay, so it is very bad. How can I make it? Something like that. Okay, this is the shape of horn-rimmed pointed glasses. So and also he's dressed in a lawn suit and a great coat. Okay, now and his voice is cultured. Cultured means he is educated. Okay, this is a point that is made and you have to note it. Now next. So the play starts here and Jared speaks. Okay, so well, tell him to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect I'll still be here, but you must not count on that. In about 10 minutes' time. Right. Oh, goodbye. Okay, so this is a conversation which Gerald is having with someone, and he's telling him that why did an X person, let's name a person X, hasn't contacted him directly, so he should contact him directly. Okay, and then he's saying that yes, I expect that I'll still be here, but you mustn't count on that. Okay, so he's saying that you should not just believe that I'll still be there or expect that. Okay, because it could happen that in about 10 minutes time he could have reached there or on the destination which he's telling about. Okay, and then he said goodbye. That's it. Now he puts down the phone and goes to the divan on the left where there is a traveling bag and starts packing. Whilst he is thus engaged, another man similar in build, Gerard, enters from the right silently, revolver in hand. Okay, so when Gerard put the phone down and he goes to pack his bag, traveling bag, um, on the divan, and then when he starts packing, he just noticed that there is another man who is the same, who has the same build of Gerard, which means that he looks similar from body wise. Okay, and the intruder or the another person, which is the another character of the story, enters from the right silently and has a revolver in hand. Okay, now he is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. He bumps accidentally against the table, and at the sound, Gerard turns quickly. So this was the moment where Gerard noticed the intruder. So, okay, so what are the points that have to be noted here? That number one, the outfit of intruder, that he was flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. Whereas when we were talking about Gerard, okay, so here you can see he was wearing a horn-rimmed glasses and dressed in a lawn suit and a greatcoat. Okay, so you can make comparisons of the outfits. That one is kind of formal and coat, etc., and the other one is flashy outfit, dressed in an overcoat and soft hat. Okay, now. So, Gerard said that pleasantly. Why? This is a surprise, Mr. Okay. So, Gerard was very pleased. He acted that he was very pleased and asked the intruder, why? This is a surprise, Mr. So, he didn't know the name of the intruder. So, he was trying to ask, what's your name, Mr. What? So, intruder said, I'm glad you're pleased to see me. Don't think you'll be pleased for long. Put those paws off. So here the paws is referred to as hands. So you might have seen in the movies or other plays as well that it's quite common when you have a revolver in hand. So you point it out to other person and tells that person to put your hands up. Okay, leave everything you have, just drop it and put your hands up. Right. So that's what he's saying, that put your paws up. Okay. So Intruder is saying that he's glad and he's glad that the Gerard is pleased to see him, but he's saying that don't worry, you won't be pleased for too long. Now put your hands up. Now Gerard said, this is all very melodramatic, not very original, perhaps, but Intruder, trying to be calm and Gerard said nonchalant is your word, I think. So Gerard is saying that all this, which the intruder said that your sentence was very melodramatic and it looks very melodramatic. Melodramatic means overly emotional, filled with emotions. Okay, emotional. So and it's not very original. Perhaps you can, but so he was saying something, but he was interrupted in the middle of a sentence by the intruder, and he said that trying to be calm and he was not able to grasp the word. So Gerard helped him and said, nonchalant is the word I think you are looking for. And then intruder said, thanks a lot. You'll soon stop being smart. I'll make you crawl. I want to know a few things. See. Okay, so intruder said, thanks a lot. Now, you soon stop being smart when I'll make you crawl. Crawl means crawl like a snake, like movements or the glides that a snake make. So, that's what meant by crawl. So, he said these things and then he said that, so I want to know some things. See, okay. So, Gerard's replied that anything you like. I know all the answers. But before we begin, I should like to change my position. You may be comfortable, but I am not. So, as the Gerard is saying that I know all the answers, I will reply to all your questions. But before you begin, I'm not feeling very comfortable in the position where I am, but you seem quite comfortable, so I would like to change my position. Okay. So Intruder said, sit down there and no funny business. Motions to a chair and seats himself on the divan by the back. Now then, we'll have a nice little talk about yourself. So here the intruder is saying, sit down there on the chair, and there's no funny business, like it's very serious matter. Don't think that I am just messing around. Okay, that's what intruder is saying. And intruder himself sits on the divan, which is a single bed. And now he's saying that now we'll have a nice little talk about yourself. So at last, a sympathetic audience. I'll tell you the story of my life. How, as a child, I was stolen by gypsies, and why, at the age of 32, I find myself in a lonely Essex cottage. How? So, with this, Gerard said that at last, a sympathetic audience. That finally, I found someone who would want to listen to my story. So he started ranting like, I'll tell you the story of my life, how I was a child and stolen by gypsies. Gypsies are nomads who roam everywhere and don't have a fixed home. And why at the age of 32 he settled in Essex. Essex is a place, Essex cottage, and is lonely. Okay, so while he was still continuing, he was interrupted again. So Intruder said, keep it to yourself and just answer my questions. You live here alone? Well, do you? Okay, so Gerard said, I'm sorry, I thought you were telling me, not asking me. A question of inflection, your voice is unfamiliar. So here, Intruder said that keep all your story to yourself, just answer the questions that I am asking to you. So he asked that, you live here alone? Well, do you? Okay, so there are two type of ways in which you can put a statement. Like for example, a statement is this: you live here. Okay, so there are two ways you can say this. Number one, you live here. That's a passive tone. And number two is that you live here. Like that's a question. Emphasis on here. So you live here. Or another tone that could be you live here. Like you live here. I put the emphasis on you. So first tone was passive, that you live here. Okay, there's nothing in it. But in the second tone, you can put emphasis on each single word and make it a different kind of expression, that you can change the whole meaning of the sentence. Like, what are you trying to ask? Okay, so the same thing happened here. Gerard thought that, I'm sorry, I thought you were telling me, not asking me. So he thought that first type of sentence, like first type of way, was used instead of the second one. So now he's saying that a question of inflection, your voice is unfamiliar. Inflection means the same thing. Okay. And he says that your voice is unfamiliar. Now, Intruder says that with emphasis now, do you live here alone? So Gerard replied, and if I don't answer? So Intruder said, you've got enough sense not to want to get hurt. Okay. Now, I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the more desire to do so. What do you think, Mr. Okay, so here Gerard is saying that, okay, so a wise person or an intelligent person is the one who avoid pain by any method or by any sort of way, instead of the one who have desire to not have pain, like who is pleading that please don't kill me, that. So instead of that person, the one who is avoid all the pain is more intelligent. Okay, so the one who avoided the pain was more intelligent. Okay, now never mind my name. I like yours better, Mr. Gerard. What's the Christian names? Okay, so he said that Just don't mind my name. I like yours better. Why is he saying that? Because the intruder wants to take the identity of Gerard. So, what are your Christian names? Christian names are the names which are given to the children when they are baptized. That's a thing uh, in this religion. Or so Gerard replied with his name is Vincent Charles. So his full name is Vincent Charles Gerard. Okay. So intruder say, do you run a car? No. Gerard replied, no. Then intruder said, that's a lie. You're not dealing with a fool. I'm as smart as you and smarter. And I know you run a car. Better be careful, wise guy. So, here can you see kind of ironic it is that actually Gerard is way smarter than the intruder because he's trying to manipulate him to get more time and not to get shot at first actually. But here the intruder believes that he is smart and even smarter than Gerard. Okay. Now, are you American or is the merely a clever imitation? So Gerard is saying that are you just copying the American accent or just talking in that way or are you actually American? So Gerard says that listen, this gun's no toy. I can hurt you without killing you and still get my answers. So the intruder is kind of warning Gerard again that this gun is real and not a toy. So stop with all these questions and all this talking, and I can hurt you without even killing you, and still I will get my answers from you. Now, of course, if you put it like that, I'll be glad to assist you. I do possess a car, and it's in the garage round the corner. So now Gerard said that, okay, he does have a car and it's in the garage. Intruder said, that's better. Do people often come out here? No. Very rarely. Surprisingly few people take the trouble to visit me. There's the baker, the greengrocer, of course, and then there's the milkman. Quite charming, but no one so interesting as yourself. So Gerard replied that no, not many people visits him, and only people that visits him is baker, greengrocer, milkman, and but he has never seen someone more interesting than the intruder. Okay. I happen to know that you never see tradespeople. Tradespeople are small kind of trade businessmen who trade. Okay, traders, small traders. Gerard replied, you seem to have taken a considerable amount of trouble. Since you know so much about me, won't you say something about yourself? You have been so modest. Okay, so here Gerard is trying to get more information about the intruder. So with this attempt, intruder replied, I could tell you plenty. You think you're smart, but I'm the top of the class round here. I've got brains and I use them. That's how I've got where I have. So here intruder is bragging about himself that he have a lot of things to tell. He has a lot of things to tell, but he won't tell him Gerard. He won't tell Gerard because he is smart and he's got brains, and that's where the brains have got him at this position that he have. So, and where precisely have you got? It doesn't require great brain to break into my little cottage. So, when you know why I've broken into your cottage, you'll be surprised and it will be a pleasant surprise. So, Gerard is saying that, okay, so all your brains have got you here, the position which you're talking about. So, which position are you precisely talking about? Because I see it doesn't require a great brain to break into a little cottage. That is mine. Okay. So, that is what Gerard said. Now, Intruder replied that when you'll know the reason why I broke into your into your little cottage, and then you'll be very, very surprised, and it won't be a very pleasant surprise. Now, with you figuring so largely in it, that is understandable. By the way, what particular line of crime do you embrace, or aren't you a specialist? So now again, Gerald is keeping him engaged with all these talks, and he's asking him that what kind of crime did he do in the past or does, what kind of criminal is he, or is he a specialist in something or not? Now, Intruder replied, my specialty is jewel robbery. Your car will do me a treat. It's certainly a dandy word. Dandy means fashionable. A fashionable, sorry for the writing, or a stylish bus. Okay. Now he's saying that his specialty is jewel robbery, and his car will, Gerald's car will benefit him. Okay. So Gerald replied that I'm afraid jewels are few and far between in the wilds of Essex. So Gerald says that, but you've come to a wrong place, I guess, because the wilds of Essex, Essex is the place again, whilst when the forest of Essex doesn't have quite a jewelry here or jewels here. So Intruder replied, so are the cops. I can retire here nicely for a little while. So he said that I know if there aren't jewels here that much, but also there aren't many cops. So he can live peacefully and without any fear. So he can retire here nicely for a little while. Okay, you mean to live with me? A trifle sudden, isn't it? You've not been invited. So Gerard said, okay, by chance do you mean that you want to live with me? Okay. So a trifle sudden, isn't it? So he's saying that, isn't it quite sudden that I'm getting to know this now? And also you've not been invited. Then you won't be here long. So I'm in trouble to ask. So Intruder is asking, saying it in a mocking way that you won't be even here for long, so I didn't trouble to ask you. Gerard, what do you mean? Intruder, this is your big surprise. I'm going to kill you. No, this is a big surprise. Gerard, a little harsh, isn't it? Intruder, with heavy sarcasm. With heavy sarcasm means is that saying something which you don't mean. Okay, so yeah, I'll be sorry to do it. I've taken a fancy to you, but it's just got to be done. Fancy means liking to you. Okay, so he's saying that yeah, I'll be sorry to do it, but he doesn't mean that because he's saying it in a sarcastic way. And he's saying that I've taken a fancy to you, that I've started to like you, but the task has just got to be done. You have to die. Now, why add murder to your other crimes? It's a grave step you're taking. I'm not taking it for fun. I've been hunted long enough. I'm wanted for murder already, and they can't hang me twice. So here, Gerard is saying that why do you want to murder me and add to your crimes? It's a grave step you're taking. So it's a very serious step you're taking. Grave means serious. Okay. Now, Intruder, I'm not taking it for fun. I've been hunted long enough. So he's saying that I'm very serious about it, and I've been chased for a very long time, and I'm already wanted for a murder. So it won't be, they won't hang you twice, which hang you twice means kill you twice for two murders. Okay, because of course when you be hanged for the first murder, you'll be killed, right? So he's saying that there is no, kind of loss if you have two murders and then get killed. Okay, so the end result is same. So better have two murders instead of one. That's what the thinking of Intruder. Now, you're planning a gratuitous double, so to speak. Admitted you have nothing to lose. What have you to gain? So gratuitous means to do something without any reason. Okay, so Gerard is saying that you're, planning the gratuitous double. I understand you're trying to have double murders, which is, without any reason, so to speak. Admitted you have nothing to lose, but what do you have to gain? What are you getting after those murders? What are you getting out of the murder of me. Me means Gerard. Now, Intruder. I've got freedom to gain. As for myself, I'm a poor hunted rat. As Vincent Charles Gerard, I am free to go to places and do nothing. I can eat well and sleep and without having to be ready to beat it at the sight of a cop. So he's just saying that he gets the freedom to be Vincent Charles Gerard, and he get to go to places and can't just don't have to be feared to get of getting caught and eat well, sleep well, and all these things. So he just want that freedom. He's saying that he's been hunted like a poor rat for a long time now. In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. You are much luckier. Gerald is saying that in most of the melodramas, what happens, the villain foolishly delays his killing and just gets frustrated. Okay, but he's saying that you are much luckier. No. Intruder replies, I am okay. I've got a reason for everything. I'm going to be Vincent Charles Gerard. See, I've got to know what he talks like. Now I know that posh stuff come easy. So the intruder is saying that I am okay and I have a reason for everything I'm doing. And now I'm going to be Vincent Charles Gerard, and now I know how you talk, and the posh stuff comes easy. Posh stuff means wealthiness or wealthy stuffs. Okay, wealthy, rich. That's what meant by posh. So he's saying the posh stuff comes easy. That it's quite easy to. This is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking. Pantomime of phoning in imitation cultured voice. And that's not all. He stands up, get up a minute, Gerard stands. Now take a look at me. Okay, so what's happening here? The intruder is trying to mime or copy the voice of or the actions or the way in which Gerard speaks. So he's imitating this sentence that this is Mr. V.C. Gerard speaking. So in a tone which Gerard actually speaks. Okay, and then he said that get up a minute. He stands up and asks Gerard to stand up as well and said that now take a look at me. Okay. You're not particularly decorative. No, well, that goes for you too. I've only got to wear specs and I'll be enough like you to get away with it. So Gerard is saying that you are not particularly decorative, like you do not uh, look nice in clothes wise, and he's saying that my clothes don't match to yours. So the intruder replies that no, I just only have to wear the specs and I'll be enough similar to you. Okay. Now, what about your clothes? They'll let you down if you're not careful. Intruder says that'll be alright. Yours will fit me fine. Now, that is extremely interesting, but you seem to miss the point of my remark. I said you were luckier than most melodramatic villains. It was not a tribute to intelligence. You won't kill me for a very good reason. So here Gerard is saying that you seem to miss my point. That when he said that you are luckier than most melodramatic villains, he didn't praise his intelligence. He knew that he won't kill him for a good reason. So that's what you think, Gerard. You let me go, and thank God you didn't shoot sooner. So now look at this. He's trying to manipulate his mind, Intruder's mind, to tell him that you let me go, and thank God you didn't shoot me sooner. Now, come on, what's on your mind? Better be quick. This conversation bores me. So, Gerard, your idea is to elude the police by killing me and taking on my identity. So Gerard is saying that your idea is to, fool the police by killing me and taking my identity. So he replied, yes, I like the idea. Then Gerard replied, but are you sure? Is it going to help you? Okay, So now he's playing with his mind. How? He's trying to convince him that what makes you so sure that I am not a criminal as well, and that police is not looking for Gerard himself. Why? What's the reason? Okay. So now Intruder replied, now listen here. I've got this all planned. I did a job in town, things went wrong, and I killed a cop. Since then, I've done nothing but dodge. So now we get more insights of the story of the intruder that he killed a cop while he was doing his job and something went wrong. Gerard, and this is where dodging has brought you. So he's saying that all this chasing away from the police, now the dodging has brought the intruder to his home. Okay, so it said it brought me to Aylesbury, another place. That's where I saw you in the car. Two other people saw you and started to talk. I listened. It looks like you're a bit queer, kind of a mystery man. So the intruder thought that Gerard is a mystery man. That's why he thought that he's the perfect person to have, to take identity off. Okay, a mystery which I propose to explain, Gerard said. Intruder, disregarding him, you phone your orders and sometimes you go away suddenly and you come back just the same. Those are just the things I want to do. Hearing about you was one of my luckiest breaks. Okay. So he's saying that when you order some things and then you go somewhere, come back suddenly, and all these kind of things are things that I want to do. So when I heard about you is the one of my luckiest breaks, or one of his luckiest breaks. Who's Intruders? Now, apparently you haven't the intelligence to ask why I'm invested in this cloak of mystery. So Gerard asked him, why do you think I am such a mysterious man? Why do I keep doing all this kind of stuff? Intruder, preparing to shoot. Now, he said, as I said before, this conversation bores me. Now, don't be a fool. If you shoot, you'll hang for sure. If not as yourself, then as Vincent Charles Gerard. So now Gerard finally dropped the bomb and he said that, don't be a fool. What if, okay, let's assume that you get away with all your previous identity and now use my identity as yours. So what if you get arrested or chased by police as Vincent Charles Gerard? Then Intruder said, what is this? Then, this is your big surprise. Now Gerard is speaking. I said you wouldn't kill me. And I was right. Why do you think I'm here today and gone tomorrow? Never see tradespeople. You say my habits would suit you. You are a crook. Crook means a cheat. Do you think I am a Sunday school teacher? Sunday school teacher is kind of the slang for an honest man. Okay. So he's saying that, oh, okay, so all this stuff, this mysterious stuff that I do, you think that it is suitable for you. It would suit you. So why didn't you so why didn't you think that I might be a crook as well? No. The game's up as far as I'm concerned. Things went wrong with me. I said it with bullets and got away. Unfortunately, they caught one of my men and found things the fool should have burnt. Tonight I'm expecting trouble. My bag's packed, ready to clear off. There it is. So here Gerard is saying that that he also murdered someone with bullets, and what happened that his companion or someone who was involved in it didn't got away with all this evidence. Okay, got rid of all the evidence and he left something which should have been burnt. So what happened, he says that tonight I'm expecting trouble. That's why he's packing and is ready to go off to somewhere else. Intruder says, it's a bag, alright, and this is a gun, alright. What's all this? So he's saying that, okay, that's a bag and I have the gun. Then what's in that bag? What's all this? Gerard explains that that's a disguise outfit. False mustaches and whatnot. Now do you believe me? So the bag had false mustaches, disguised outfits, and all these things, which kind of makes sense to all the things that Gerard is saying. So now he's asking Intruder that, do you believe me? Intruder said, musingly, I don't know. She's confused. Okay, so Gerard's saying, for God's sake, clear that muddled head of yours and let's go. Come with me in the car. I can use you. If you find its frame, you've got me in the car, and you still have got your gun. So muddle means confused. Okay. So Gerard is saying that don't be confused. Just come with me. We should go together. Let's go. And if you think that it's kind of a frame that I'm setting for you, you've got me in the car. I'm with you in my I will be with you in the car, and also you've got your gun. So why are you thinking so much about it? Now, maybe you're right, Intruder said. Gerard. Then don't waste time. Goes and picks up hat and bag. Intruder. Careful, boss. I'm watching you. Now, I've got a man posted on the main road. He'll ring up if he sees the police. But I don't want to leave. Telephone bell rings. Come on, they're after us. Through here, straight to the garage. Okay, so now he's saying that there's a man. Gerard said that there's a man he has kind of hooked up who will inform him or warn him about the police. And just after then, the bell rings, and then he said that come on, they're after us. Let's just go, and went through straight to the garage. Okay, Intruder says that how do you know that you're telling the truth? Gerard said, oh, don't be a fool. Look for yourself. Okay, now Gerard opens the door and steps away. Intruder leans forward to inspect it with his side towards Gerard. But with the revolver ready, as he turns his head, Gerard gives him a push into the cupboard, knocking the revolver out of his hand. He slams the door and locks it. Picks up the revolver and goes to the phone, where he stands with the gun pointed at the cupboard door. Okay, so look what happened when he said that let's go to the garage. So the door wasn't a passage for the garage. It was just a cupboard. So when the intruder looked into the cupboard, so Gerard pushed him in the cupboard, and when that was happening, the revolver dropped, and then he locked the door and took the gun and pointed at the cupboard, and then he answered the phone. And what did he say to the say? He said that, yes, speaking. Hello, yes, speaking. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time for rehearsal. I've had a spot of bother. Quite amusing. Okay, so Intruder was meanwhile saying that, let me out of here. Okay, and Gerard said that, sorry, I don't have the props in time for rehearsal. So all the props that were in the suitcase that he was packing in the travel bag, and he showed the Intruder that, yeah, these are the mustaches and the disguise outfit, etc., were only the props for rehearsal. Okay, he didn't do any kind of murder. He wasn't a criminal. Now, Gerard, I think I'll put it in my next play. Listen, can you tell our friend the surgeon to come up here at once? We'll probably find him in the public bar. So, the person with Gerard is talking with, he asked the person to, bring the surgeon, his friend, to his room. And the surgeon is obviously a police officer, so that he can inform the surgeon about the intruder who's in his room in the cupboard. Okay. Now, with this, the play and the chapter has ended. Now, let's do the questions. Okay. At last, a sympathetic audience. Who says this? Why does he say it? Is he sarcastic or serious? So we know that this was said by whom? Think about it. It was said by Gerard. Okay. So Gerard said that Okay, so next question is, why does he say it? Is it sarcastic or serious? So think about it and answer it yourself. Okay. Why does the intruder choose Gerard as the man whose identity he wants to take on? Okay, so we know some points that, first of all, when we read the chapter, we know that Gerard was a mysterious man. His actions were mysterious, that he places orders and then went somewhere else and came back after some another time. So all these things were a little suspicious and mysterious, which was best suited for a criminal like the intruder. Okay, so I gave you kind of a brief, so you guys have to now. So I just gave you guys a little hint, you can say so. Now you know what the answer will be. Okay, I said it with bullets. Who says this? What does it mean? Is this truth? What is the speaker reason for saying it? Okay, who said that? Gerard said that. Okay, what does it mean? It means that he killed a man. He murdered a person as well. Now I'll not tell you much details because that's the way you have to write it, and all this details is your task. Okay, and was it the truth? So I also explained you that it wasn't truth or not. So it's also easy. All these type of questions are very easy if you have read the chapter and listen to this video very carefully. Okay, and with full focus. Now, what is Gerard's profession? Cue the parts of the play that support your answer. That's also very easy. Can be done with the help of the context. Now, you'll soon stop being smart. Who says this? Why does the speaker say it? What according to the speaker will stop Gerard from being smart? That's also an easy question. They can't hang me twice. Who says this? Why does the speaker say it? Hmm? A mystery I propose to explain. What is the mystery the speaker proposes to explain? Okay, again I'll give you a hint. Gerard said these words. So now think about it. What was the mystery? This is your big surprise. Where has this been said in the play? What is the surprise? Okay, so it's actually a little bit confusing, but if you guys have, again focused in the chapter, then you'll know who said it, because the surprise words comes two times. Once Gerard also said that and the intruder also said that. So who said the big surprise one? That's the thing that you guys have to look for and find out. Okay, if you already know it, then that's great, and if you already know it, then that's superb. Proud of you.